Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, for the thousands in attendance and the millions and millions watching all across the world, this is the best way to start your Sunday morning. Starting off your starting lineup. It's two men. It's not the dynamic duo, but it is the best duo in sports entertainment today. Leading off, hailing from Archbishop Curl, 5'8", 232, and zero point 0.6 ounces. He is the man of a million names. When I say a million, I say a million. It's the Fat Poet. It is Fatso Corician. It is Human Google. It is whatever else you want to call him. But most importantly, here today, in front of you on this screen, it is the Midnight Rider and his co-host. He's a Mustang from Bladensburg. He is the myth, the legend. He is the straw that stirs the drink. He is the man, the myth, and the legend of the Saturday Night WrestleManiacs. He hails from Bladensburg. He is the King of Kings in terms of the wrestling world. And he is my co-host and is the host of this show. He is the big guy, KG. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to turn this over now to the big guy, KG.
Well, now, welcome to the Sunday Rise. Thank you for that arousing introduction there, Midnight Rider. This is what it's all about, man.
I know I teed this up last week, but today I just felt it because I had to get it out. So there you go, my brother.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. Welcome everybody to the Sunday Rise. Best way to get your week started off right. First and foremost, Midnight Rider, how you feeling?
I'm good, and I know I didn't tee this up the right way, but today's show we're going to do a little bit of different. Normally we put stuff towards the back end of the show, but today we're going to start in the beginning. What's happened in the playoffs is two teams, the New York Knicks and the Carolina Hurricanes, have overcome some playoff history and made it to the finals. And what I wanted to do, because I know what 19 felt like for me. I remember 2019 very well. One of the toughest years, but one of the best years in terms of having my baseball team win a championship. So what I wanted to do today or this morning is first we wanted to just before we even do the updates, we want to get the actual reactions. I know my buddy Thomas McAfee dropped one about the Knicks. I know I'm going to get C. Perry's firsthand on Tuesday. And then we also have Sarah's reaction. We got her initial reaction. And I know Maddie's going to jump in with us in a few. But let's go ahead and cue up those reactions that we got in the hopper first before we get going.
All right. We'll start with the Knicks because that way we can float on in to the Canes. So
right, I got you. I see what you.
Well, now the matchup is set. As a Knicks fan, this is the moment we've been waiting for. I've been a Knicks fan since the late 80s, early 90s, heavy in the Patrick Ewing, John Starks, Anthony Mason era. As a Knicks fan, just used to seeing things go wrong, not being able to get over that final hump, seeing balls bounce up to the rafters and fall in for the other team, or John Starks going 1 for 17 or whatever it was in game 6 or 7 of the finals. But now this year there's a different vibe going on with this New York's Knicks team. And it's a weird feeling being, a dominant team. This Knicks team is historically dominant. And, these past, I guess, 10 games have been crazy. This whole playoff run has been crazy. And Now we get to go up against a generational talent in Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs. It's only fitting that the Knicks may be running into another buzzsaw, but I fully expect the Knicks to give it their all, and it's tough for me to think that we're the favorite, but I think the Knicks have a really good chance of pulling this out. So go Knicks, go, all that good stuff. We'll see how it plays out. All right.
There we go. So that's a reaction of a lifelong Knicks fan. One Thomas McAfee. It's actually interesting that we pulled his first because after Sarah, Thomas was in our fantasy football league that Maddie ran for years. So that's going to be a nice little full circle. Let's go ahead and run Sarah's reaction because I love this. It was very what's the word? I want to say guttural or in the moment. So let's go ahead and hit that.
All right.
Oh man, I love that moment for her. I love it for Maddie. I know he's about to jump in with us, but that right there, I think I'm getting old because I almost cut an onion almost. This is kind of it was good to watch, man. I love watching that. Maddie, what's going on, buddy? How you feeling?
I just gotta give the Sarah thumbs up. That was my favorite part of that when she did that. Just see this thumbs up come up out of nowhere.
So,
Yeah,
I mean, Carolina Hurricanes fan, team makes it to the finals. Um, you had years of the Panthers taking you out, and you get this moment. How does that feel? What is that like?
it was cool. It's kind of funny because I think Sarah's probably in the same boat that Jared and I were because we went to the Guards game that night, so we had recorded the game and did not we turned off our phones so we could not get anything from anybody. So we had to quietly watch and celebrate. And I think Sarah's probably in the same boat because I believe that her mom and stepdad were probably well asleep by the time she watched that too. So the quiet screams are always fun to try to make. But yeah, it was fun to watch. It's good, there's a lot with Carolina from because I don't think a lot of people realize, from the dark period from after 2019 when they got swept in the Eastern Conference Final by Pittsburgh. Um, JR leaves to go to, I think, Vancouver at that point in time. Ron Francis comes in as the general manager, which, a former player. Everyone thought that was going to go well. It didn't. Kirk Muller was a terrible head coach. Bill Peters, even worse before, And so there were many of the nights when I were there with Jared, you'd have a Sunday game with maybe 10,000 people in there. Just the years and years of not making playoffs were starting to take its toll in Raleigh, and there was talk about them relocating. Then they hire Rod Brindamore to be their head coach. That first year he makes it to the playoffs, gets swept in the Eastern Conference Finals, and we know where that then the 1-17 run starts of this team constantly getting there. But I think last night for Caniacs or was Friday night was the bringing it all together of it being worth it, of going through that hard time to now finally get. But now you got a Vegas team that's equally tough, and it's not going to be an easy Stanley Cup final for sure. But it's at least another step on this journey with Rod Brindamore. And the crazy stat now is since Carolina became from the Hartford Whalers, Rod Brindamore is responsible for 97 of the 99 playoff wins in Carolina Hurricane history as either a player or a coach. And that's just he's going to end up with he's got to have a statue outside of Lenovo Center at some point in time. He just has to.
So, matchup wise, in terms of styles for these two teams, what are we going to see on the ice?
They're pretty similar. They both try to, they both try to pressure the other team into giving up the puck. I think, they both want to do the same thing. So it's going to be interesting to see whose will is stronger. I think Vegas has a stronger, a more star-powered first line when you have Mitch Marner and Jack Eichel available to you. I think Carolina has four better lines. I mean, throughout the Montreal series, you saw the fourth line of Janikowski, Robinson, just dominate Montreal as far as and Carrier. The three of them just dominated Montreal. I think that could happen in Vegas again because I think Carolina is the deeper team. Vegas has a couple more stars on the team, but I think ultimately this is going to come down to Carter Hart versus Freddie Anderson and which goalie, has the better run.
And I know that name, Carter Hart. So, Showtime, say what you got because I know you got something. Say that for tomorrow. That can be your thing. Say that for tomorrow. The only reason I'm saying that is because I don't. I'm the purveyor of content. I keep content sacred. So I want you to share your real reaction, your real thoughts on your show, because that's what your crowd deserves. They don't need to get it secondhand from us. But um, thank you for joining us. Um, First and foremost, your thoughts on the Canes advancing.
Um, Absolutely insane. Like, I was saying in a smaller drive time post chat that we had that I don't really know if this counts as my first Stanley Cup final because technically the other one was 20 years ago when I was 2, but obviously I don't really remember that. So this is like the first one that I'm actually experiencing as a vivid fan. It's just insane. Like, obviously you guys saw the video. Like, I was straight up about to cry tears. Um, and just even obviously already knowing that it was 3-0 in the first period, I was like, oh my god, they're gonna maybe after like it was 5-0, I was like, oh my god, they're gonna win this game and I might be missing it. So like once I got home, we didn't even have our internet on, like it was out for some reason. So my mom was watching it on like Spectrum on her phone. She was passed out already, by the way. I stole my mom's phone and I just started watching it in the kitchen. Like even if like she wasn't watching, then I would have probably tried watching it on my phone. But like it was just insane. Just that game was such a takeaway moment. Like immediately in the first period, Carolina knew what they were going for. They knew how to act on it. Obviously there's some debate over that first goal, if it was a good goal or not. I try to think like if it would have changed the momentum, like I'm sure it probably sucked for Montreal to not get that first or to not have that one taken away. But then again, Carolina still scores like 2 after that. So I don't think it affected them much. And then overall in the game too, the problem that Montreal has had in the past couple of games has been their offense. They have not had many shots on goal. They have not had many moments because Carolina's defense, absolutely stellar. I mean, you got Jacob Slavin, you got all these awesome players just breaking up. Keandre Miller, complete breakout player of the series, I think. Just our defense completely breaking up their plays. They weren't able to get any shots on goal. I think that game 5, like they had like maybe like I think they had less than 15 shots on goal in the entire game. Like I said it last week. It's just like you can't win games like that with that strategy. They got lucky with Buffalo or with Tampa that game 7 that they had where they had like literally 14 shots on goal and they somehow still won. But it's just I think there are more problems with Montreal. Now, don't get me wrong. This is a great start for Montreal. Like this is like the first like just like we were talking about with Buffalo, it's only the start for them and Montreal. It's going to be the start for them. So I think it's definitely a good sign for their future. But I'm biased, but I think this might be Carolina's year. Just a little biased.
So your level of confidence It sounds like your confidence is on high. Your confidence is on
My
high.
confidence is on high, but not to like put it in here, but my hate level is also on high because I hate the Vegas Golden Knights. Um, and obviously, again, there's more reasons that I hate the Vegas Golden Knights, which I will save for tomorrow. But I do hate the Vegas Golden Knights, so that is also spiraling my confidence.
That
I
counts.
literally,
Yeah.
I told some of my friends that I would end their friendship if they said that they were voting for, if they weren't voting for Vegas, if they were rooting for Vegas. Like that's how high of this. I don't know what you want to even call it, but that's how high I am on this.
Maddie,
I'm
you
with you.
want to?
Yeah, I mean, and I think part of my problem is I brought this up in the show last week. I think I underestimated this Vegas Golden Knights team at the start of the playoffs. Like I really thought they'd lose to Utah. I figured they'd handle Anaheim because I didn't have any trust in Anaheim. What they did at Colorado completely shocked me. I was not expecting it at all. So I I'm cautiously nervous just because I'm like, okay, I've already underestimated this team twice, so I'm not doing that this series for sure. They any team that makes the Stanley Cup final, you got to win 12 amazing games to get there. But yeah, I also dislike the Vegas Golden Knights. It's a lot to do with what with Connor Hart, and we'll save that for the show tomorrow. So for those watching that want to know what that is, drive time at 5 p.m. tomorrow. That's your spot to hear that. Get the show plug in. But then but yeah, series wise, it's going to be interesting. We're going to have a lot, and I agree with Sarah too with Montreal. Like Montreal, you're going to see a lot of Montreal versus Buffalo over the next couple of years because in the Atlantic Division, I think Tampa is on the downswing. They just got, and same thing with Boston. Those are two older teams. Maybe Detroit and Ottawa get into that mix with them, but it would not surprise me if you see a lot of in the division's finals, Montreal versus Buffalo. For the very, very near future. Both of those teams are loaded with young talent. They got good goaltending. They both just need to add a couple more pieces. They're basically where Carolina was 3 or 4 years ago. That's where I feel like Montreal and Buffalo is. So if they can keep that core together, the sky's the limit for both of those teams.
So, do you think Tampa Bay is moving any of their frontline talent, the older guys like Kucherov and company?
It's going to be interesting. I mean, if they're going to do it, they're going to do it quickly. Like that's the whole thing with this compressed NHL schedule. Because if you're going to make a trade, you want to make the trade before the NHL before the draft because you want those draft picks. The NHL draft is the June 26th and 27th, whatever that weekend is. So as soon as these Stanley Cup Finals end, the regular the calendar year for this season ends, and then you can start making trades for next year. That activity, and then free agency is July 1st. So the NHL fund begins for next year right after. Then about that July 15th, July 16th, that's when kind of everything kind of gets in the cooler, so to speak, because everyone starts going on their summer vacations and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting. We'll know very shortly what their plan is. I could see them trying to run it back one more year, but ultimately they've got a lot of aging vets, and now might be the time to try to move them and rebuild. But I don't know. I think they'll go one more year.
So, if I was a NHL fan and I wanted to go somewhere and watch or get updates on free agency on the first day of free agency, where would I go?
We're going to do a special drive time on June 1st. It's going to be at noon, hopefully, or July 1st. Sorry, not June 1st. July 1st. That is the first day of free agency. We'll also recap the draft as far as the first round of the draft, and from our mock draft will be the week before. But we're going to do a special edition of drive time right at noon when NHL free agency starts.
And if I wanted to hear about like referees and coaches, where would I go for that type of information?
That's going to be a fun show. That's a mix of pretenders and contenders and drive time. That's going to be Monday, July 20th, 8 p.m. or no, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. is our start time for that. We'll have 4 coaches, 4 officials. That's going to focus mostly on the youth officiating and the youth coaching and dealing with obnoxious parents and the effect that it's causing on a lot of these sports with having lack of officials, let alone quality officials.
And then say like tomorrow at 5 o'clock, I wanted to hear Sarah hate the Vegas Knights and with all her passion. Where would we catch that at?
That's going to be at 5 o'clock tomorrow on drive time for sure. The hate counter. I'm expecting to see a record Sarah hate counter tomorrow. Just by the way, I'm going to look because starting tomorrow is the first series between the New York Yankees and the Cleveland Guardians for this calendar year, and you have the Connor Hart story. If the Sarah Hart if the Sarah hate counter does not go into the double digits tomorrow, I will have not done my job as the host. That's all I'll say.
I
'Cause
got I got 15,
I'm gonna set
I
them
got
up.
15 and a half. I got
15
15 and a half as the bar. As the bar.
Over under.
I think that's a solid over under number right there for Vegas to take 15 and a half.
Yes, exactly.
Wait, when's the first game tomorrow for the Yankees in the Guards?
It's tomorrow. Monday is the first one. They
Yeah, but
start
like what time? Because if the game's going on, then yeah, it's gonna.
Oh
be
no,
fun.
it's not till 7. That the first
okay.
game's at
Well,
7. But I'm still
Yeah.
gonna set.
We'll pre-hate.
Yeah,
Pre-game,
I'm gonna
pre-hate.
I'm gonna set you up with lots of. I'm already loading up some Yankee stats for you to comment on. So.
Oh God.
Real quick, let's get a little guards talking. You went what, Friday night to the game?
Yeah, and yesterday too. I was there for that debacle.
So what do you think about this team? I'm doing this because I'm biased, but Bazana is my guy. And
He's not
also
going
like
anywhere. He's definitely not. Bazana's definitely not going anywhere. Like he's just come up and just he has such a good eye. Like they moved him up to the
right.
1 spot. Like he gets his walks. He hits the ball well. He plays a decent second base. He seems like the real deal.
So I think Quan, the ambassador of Quan, might get moved because I think Bazana is doing the job that he used to do. I just don't know if he's hitting enough right now.
Yeah, they moved him down to the 6, 7 holes, and he's been hitting better there. So I think that's going to be where I don't think that they're going to move him back up to 1 with how well Bazana's done there. And it sets up, you got Bazana, Ramirez, and DeLauder as your 1, 2, 3. What this team still lacks is somebody consistently in the 4 hole. Now, we're starting to hear more and more Mike Trout rumors. If Anaheim, whatever the hell they're called now, the California Angels, Los Angeles, Anaheim, whatever they're going by this year, if they're willing to moving Mike Trout, that's been a name that we're hearing more and more. Originally there was talk of maybe if Houston's willing on moving. Oh God, what's his name now? Why can I not think of him? Their power hitter. No, not Altuve.
Alvarez.
Yes, Alvarez. But now Houston's only 2 games back now because of how bad that AL West is. So I don't see Houston pulling the plug just yet. So Mike Trout might be their best bet, but we'll see. The pitching's there. I mean, the starting pitch, well, other than Tanner Bybee, who's got some issues still, but the bullpen's mostly there.
Gavin Williams is my guy.
Oh, he's just been lethal these last 2 games. I mean, what he did to Philly, and then the game he had against the Nats too, ending that the tear that the Nats put on in Cleveland, because the Nats were hitting the ball all over that ballpark up until they faced Gavin Williams, thankfully.
KG.
Well, I mean, I'm just listening, taking it all in. The ESPN game that we played, the hockey bracket, we got a 3-way tie between Showtime, Vic, and myself to win this.
I think you're the only one that's got Carolina,
tie.
right?
Huh?
You're the only one that has Carolina, though, right?
No. Sarah has
right?
Carolina, and Vic and myself.
Okay.
I had one with Carolina and one with Colorado. So
everybody has Carolina that's left in the top 3. The thing now is going to be whatever the tiebreaker is.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be. I think it's like goal scored or something in the.
Yeah, it's something stupid.
Yeah. But that's going to decide the winner.
Oh man, that is crazy. I am extremely overjoyed and happy for you, Showtime, you, Maddie, even Nubian Sumo. I forgot he was a Carolina fan as well. He's all Carolina, everything. I forgot that he was a Carolina fan as well. We were talking about it last night, and I told him, I was like, I can't say that I like Vegas, because Vegas almost gave me a heart attack a couple of years ago against the Caps in the Stanley Cup final. So I haven't liked Vegas since then.
do you hate them?
Yeah. You say that.
Oh, that was.
I don't roll with Vegas at all. So know that I'm going to put on. Yeah.
There's a clip in here in the media segment of 1 minute of the sumo. Is that Carolina related, or is that something else?
No, that's your favorite Saturday night show related.
Okay. Diversify your bonds. Konnichiwa, bitches.
Yeah, that's that's him being the only one that can fight good and the fight for good and evil is only one man that can
Okay.
take it all, and that's the Nubian sumo. So, but I'm pulling for you guys in the Stanley Cup. Like I'm genuinely excited about both championships in the NHL and the NBA
Yeah,
for various reasons. But this is one. If Carolina wins this is the selfish part. I'll look like a freaking genius.
you will. And I'm cool with that. I hope you do look that genius. I do want to say this Tuesday night, ABC has the game at 8. I hope they do what TNT did because TNT, I love their coverage. Like, and they did this in Montreal too for the Eastern Conference Finals. They basically just sat there and shut up for the 5 minutes before the teams came out and let everyone soak in the atmosphere in Carolina, in Raleigh, and then in Montreal. And look, it was great in Carolina for the Eastern Conference Final. But you haven't seen anything yet. Like the roof will come off that building even before those teams come on to the ice when they do their whole, because what they do, and the players have admitted that this is 100% true. Like when that crowd gets going before the game, they can hear them down underneath in the locker rooms, and they get going like that at full throttle before the team even comes out onto the ice. I hope ESPN shows it all, but I don't trust ESPN to do that because the ESPN likes to give PK Subban and Mark Messier way more face time than those two deserve. But I hope they do it, but I don't know if they will.
I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I experienced Game 7 with the Nats. I, I bet confidently that whole series, but then when the Nats were playing the Astros, and my buddies were like, "Yo, why are you so confident?" I was like, "Yo, we're gonna win." And of course, we came back. I think we were 2-0. We went down 3-2 because the Astros won everything here. Um, Game 7, I'll never forget. I went to the store on purpose that day. I bought a bottle of champagne. I bought 6 8-ounce Budweisers to remember my pops.
Mm.
And when that game was over, because I had moved out of the house I grew up in, but when that game was over, I drove back to my old neighborhood, parked right in front of my backyard. I had music playing, I had the champagne popped, and I had the 8-ounce beer, and I poured one out in the yard just as my signature to my pops. And I hope you guys get the feeling of winning a championship with your team winning a championship because it's the best thing you ever felt.
Yeah,
Like
it'll be
for that one moment, I felt like the 3 months of mourning my pops was over in that spell. I loved it. I enjoyed it. It took over everything.
I
So I
hope
wish
so.
it was good.
We'll see. Like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic just because Vegas is just so good and they're on a run too, and they got a really good head coach. But I hope you're right. I hope it happens, and it'll be fun. We're gonna hopefully Sarah's not having to work that night, and we'll definitely be on FaceTime with each other and try be neat if we could somehow figure out a way to set up a camera in both places. But I don't know if we'll be able to do that or not. But we'll come up with something. So
Wait, which night?
You
if
should
if
you guys
if we
do
clinch,
I mean the games are too long, but you should do like a pregame show.
we may. I got to look at the schedule. I think we might be able to do. I don't know if I can do it Tuesday because well, I can't do it Tuesday because you guys are everyone's on Tuesday night. So if there's a night where maybe we don't have a show on, maybe we'll do a little pregame show. It might not be a bad idea.
I mean,
But
if the game time is 8, we'll push ourselves back and we just give pretenders and contenders a hard out. I mean, not pretenders and contenders.
unapologetic.
Unapologetic.
Nah, I don't want to do that to them. I love that show too. So I know I can't do it this Tuesday
Oh,
anyway. So
okay, okay, all
so,
right, cool.
but maybe Thursday we can come up with something for a pregame on Thursday because that'll be game 2.
All right, and if you can't, we'll incorporate it into the show.
Okay,
So we'll figure it out that way.
that sounds like a plan. All right, guys. I do have a hard out at 11:30,
Oh,
but
okay.
Sarah,
Go ahead, get out of here.
but
Do your
Sarah can
thing.
stay on. She'll stay
Sarah,
on and give you anything if you
I
want
just
her.
wanted. I have one question for Sarah.
See you guys.
See
All right,
you,
Maddie.
Maddie. So tell me why Aaron Judge is your favorite baseball player.
So false. Not true. I can't. He's like frozen on there, isn't he? Oh, weird.
Yeah, we remove him. I got him.
But no, not favorite. Not favorite. I think just the love for him just goes into just the Yankees in general. Like anybody that plays on the Yankees, you know, I'm not gonna be a fan of. Just, nope, nothing personal. I think, you know, but I just don't like it. He looks weird, you know. Just I get a bad vibe from just looking at his face. So I like rooting on his downfall. It's fun. It gives me excitement, you know, thrill. It's the thrill of the game.
Do you just not like the Yankees, or you don't like Yankees fans either?
Yeah, both. I mean the Sorry, I said that too quick. But like I mean, KG, you don't seem obnoxious, but like I'm just saying, like a lot of I think your fan base can be obnoxious about certain things. And I guess like sometimes you guys do have reason to be, but also at the same time just dial it down. But yeah, it's both. Just a little friendly rivalry, you know.
And real quick question. I don't know what that is on your wall. The letters going around. Is that like a saying, or is that just like a thing that you got?
The letters?
Yeah. On your back, yeah.
Like here? I don't know where you're seeing it.
Okay, my bad.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm just trying to figure out where it is on the wall.
No, it's going around the opening to your closet.
Oh no, this is ivy. It's like fake ivy. It's how I have my room set up. It's very because like I don't know if you can see it, but like I have a very floral theme in my room right now.
Okay.
But
so you burn what is it? Not incense. What's the other thing that you got to burn? KG, help me out. You know what I'm talking about.
Which you talking about? You got the cones and
sage. Do you burn sage?
Sage, yeah.
I don't burn sage. No. I'm not like that. I feel like that's like more. I don't want to say like witchcraft because it's not like that at all. But like I don't do any of that stuff. More so just because we have cats, so like burning anything up here, like I don't think it would be great because they could get into it. Speaking of a cat, but
yeah, it is.
But no, I don't burn any of that. But I still do have like a little floral theme going on, I guess, in my room more so.
All right, and your cats, what are their names?
So that one you just saw is Kitty, and a darker one that I was petting over here is Thomas. I know Kitty doesn't sound very original. We just couldn't find a name for her, so we just started calling her Kitty, and then now she started responding to it, so it stuck. And then Thomas just more so because like he looks like Tom from Tom and Jerry. So,
okay.
But they're my angels mostly.
Well, I'll say this in defense of Yankees fans, and Boone said they are obnoxious, no lies told. But Perry says it best, deservedly obnoxious.
How are you deservedly obnoxious?
27 world championships, 41 pennants.
But you haven't been relevant for the last 20 years. What are we doing here? Like 20 years of you losing in the playoffs is why you get to be obnoxious? Like most of your titles are before you even born. You're worse than Celtics fans. Celtics fans claim they're 17, but they only seen like 4.
We've definitely won in every decade almost. We didn't win the 2010s. That's fine. We're winning the 2020.
Almost.
Yeah, we won the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. Oh, we didn't win in the 80s.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. But we won in the 90s. We won in the 2000s. We just got to get the 2020s back on. But you got to give other people a chance to win, man.
No, ain't no giving people a chance to win. Y'all stunk. Y'all have stunk for the last 20 years. You're just average. You're a mediocre franchise living on the past.
You win one world championship, and you think you have
Hey,
the
we only
right
been around for 20
to breathe
years,
the same air.
We only been around for 20 years. There's a difference.
Guys, I didn't mean to start this. Oh my god.
I didn't start anything. This was going.
Oh, this has been brewing.
Oh, okay.
Us.
This has been brewing for quite some time.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Don't let my Guardians, the Guardians, win one. Because I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna lose my stuff on that one too. Because I deserve that. Because I was a fan since '92 for the Guards.
I mean, like KJ, you have to understand. Like the Yankees mostly have beat the Guard. Like each time we've had a series of them in the playoffs, like the Yankees have mostly beat them. So that also kind of stimulates my hate. Because like, yeah, you guys are good. You just don't make it all the way sometimes, which is great because like I'm rooting on your downfall. But like, I mean, you guys do beat us a lot, so it helps. But you know, we're doing better. Maybe I don't think this is our year yet. The Guardians are such a confusing team sometimes because like gosh, you hear Matty Ice going on rants all about it, being like, oh, this isn't our year. Oh, this might be our year. So like, we're a very confusing team, but like at least we're playing. We play good enough to make it to the playoffs, and whatever happens in the playoffs, that's just totally up to God at that point.
I'll say this. When you have a team that has had some of the greatest players in their uniform, and they've cultivated and brung up some of the greatest players, the greatest shortstop of all time, Derek Sanderson Jeter from Kalamazoo, Michigan, has his number retired and has a plaque in Monument Park.
Overrated. The most overrated shortstop.
Clutch.
Overrated.
Okay.
The most overrated shortstop I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
He does nothing better than Ozzie Smith. Shit, I'd even give you, and excuse my language, I'd even give you Cal Ripken. And you know that's going to take a whole bunch of oaks for me to give you Cal Ripken over anybody. You can give me the steroid baby, Alex Rodriguez. Derek Sanderson Jeter is 4 plays. It's the 4 plays in the playoffs that make him great, and everybody's like, ooh, we love Derek Jeter. He sucks. He's a bum. He's not the greatest shortstop ever. He's a waste of my time and a waste of me speaking on this topic.
You done?
Yeah. I mean, you can just don't, you know what? You can put Derek Jeter, Eddie Jones, and Eldon Campbell in the same little box and throw that some bitch in the middle of the ocean, baby.
I've come to the realization you're a hater.
I'm not a hater. I just speak the
Hey!
I speak the facts, dog.
What's wrong with being a hater, KG?
Because you can't hate greatness. You know, when you're consistently good. Yeah.
What's his career batting average? Like what, 235, 240, something like that? You know, he's probably his most home runs he's ever hit is probably 17 in a season.
Because he's not a home run hitter.
He's yo. I can find a Derek Jeter on a subway somewhere playing the piccolo. He's not good. He's not that good. I
Career
am so
batting average.
tired of Derek Jeter being talked about like this.
Career batting average 310.
Okay.
310.
Okay.
First ballot Hall of Fame. World Series MVP 5 times. 5 times. 5 times.
Played for the Yankees. That's why he gets first
World
ballot.
Series champion. 14-time All-Star.
He's only a 5-time World Series champion because of Mariano Rivera.
Greatest closer of all time.
Wait. I'm sorry. You know what? We're doing this in front of Sarah. We can stop. And
Yeah. I'm enjoying it. If
Sarah,
anything, I can.
give us what you got coming up, and then we're gonna let you out on this, and then we're gonna go to a commercial break.
Gotcha. So next week, I'm sure will be a Stanley Cup final review. Let me actually see. I'm trying to see how many games we're going to get out. I don't remember exactly. I think we're going to be game 3 at least. So 3-game recap of the Stanley Cup final of the Carolina Hurricanes versus the Vegas Golden Knights. Tomorrow, you can definitely expect a little preview of that and me going on a rant about the Vegas Golden Knights. Hate counter, over under 15. Put your bets in. But I believe we'll also be talking about. I'm trying to remember if there's a NASCAR race. I think Scooter will be able to join in. If could do NASCAR. Obviously, probably talking about some NBA. But you guys on Unapologetic Sports, nothing but net. You guys probably explain it a little bit better than us. I'm sure my dad might have some stuff to say about the Knicks sweeping the Cavs, but cannot confirm or deny. I don't know ball like that, so I won't be saying anything. But it's so weird because I obviously I'm okay with the Cavs. I try to root more so for the Hornets just because they're locally, but then also just the Hornets are such a confusing team as well. So it's all I know is LaMelo Ball, and he's already a questionable person with his driving skills. So it's I don't really know. I kind of want to get more so into it, but I've never stepped the gas on it. So I've just kind of whatever happens, I just hear about it. I don't watch any of it.
Well, whatever you guys do, make sure tomorrow you get, if Scooter's available, get Scooter's reaction for Kyle Busch, because I don't think he was available last week.
Yeah, I had to break it down last week, but we'll definitely get him on it to see his thoughts. I'm pretty sure he definitely agrees with my dad though with the awareness of sepsis. This is totally unrelated, but I got a splinter at work, and I'm literally thinking, what if I get an infection because I haven't been able to get it out yet? I'm literally about to go downstairs and call my mom. Unless I don't even remember the last time I got a splinter. This is something as a kid. So I'm not gonna get sepsis from an infection or from a splinter. It's absolute crazy talk, but no, just completely devastating too. I think it's still obviously affecting the community, but hopefully we rise above it. Just like we have it's just been a tough year overall for NASCAR. I mean, gosh, not even 5 months ago with Greg Biffle and his family passing away in that crash in North Carolina, and now you obviously have Kyle Busch. So NASCAR has not had an easy year. But
then we got Denny Hamlin's mom and dad.
yeah.
So,
exactly. Yeah. It's just absolutely insane. And I mean, of course, I think just even in sports communities overall, you have obviously a lot of more deaths that affect the community overall, but all these sports, they have these huge families. We could argue about the Yankees all the time, but I think baseball still comes together in those moments. And just like you see in hockey when, Johnny Gaudreau passed away, and just just a couple of days ago when Claude Lemieux passed away, rest in peace to him. We can obviously, I think we will talk about that again tomorrow as well.
Yeah, I kind of left that on the table for y'all.
Oh yeah, okay.
I didn't want to talk to you guys about that because I know you'll cover that tomorrow. So
yeah, no, we definitely will. Of course, he was still a little out of my time, guys. So I think Scooter and Maddie got that carried away. But gosh, again, we will talk about it, but you just saw him a couple of days ago. It's just absolutely insane how fast things can change.
All right, so I need you to hold on for about 2 to 3 minutes. KG, yeah, put your mic up. Let's do what we do. Because we always talk about giving flowers. And I don't know if she saw us last week when I talked about Sarah and how much I've seen her grow, and when she started with us and who she is now as a podcaster. But I want to give you first chance to give her some flowers before we get her out of here.
Well, first and foremost, the way you come in, the knowledge, you have your bit, you have your signature. You got it right. and what y'all do over at Drive Time, man, absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And I tell people this all the time. When we started this whole thing
Go ahead, do
back
that.
in
Do that.
2017, we wanted to talk hockey. We wanted to talk baseball. Didn't really have nobody to talk it with. And now here we are, what, 8 years later, going on 9 years later, and we got all of it now. So just wanted to tell you thank you for that. Thank you. Thank Maddie. Thank Scooter. Even the Midnight Rider, man. We got all of that now. We got the stuff that we've been looking for quite some time, because we don't know 100% about it. We know of it, but the intricacies, that's what we needed. And now we got it. So thank you for that.
And for me, it's just the growth. Like I remember the first time you popped in with your dad, and you actually y'all you don't know what you and Scooter did for your dad. So I'm gonna tell you, when you're doing a podcast and you're doing it by yourself, and you get people, you can spread yourself out in different ways that you wouldn't have been able to by doing it solo. So the hardest thing to do in this game is a solo podcast. And I'll tell anybody that every day of the week. But when you get people to jump in with you, now you can spread your wings in different directions. And what I love about you is you are unapologetically you in every moment. Like we get Sarah every time, your reactions, your thoughts, your non-thoughts. And at first I was like, well, she got to say something, but I was like, nah, that's just her. So I'm learning to love you as a podcaster in your space. And what I want to say is keep doing what you're doing because you're doing a great job. Um, we appreciate you. We appreciate you being part of the network and your contributions. And I wanted to take this time since I had you on the air, because I talked about you last week when you weren't here, but I wanted to talk about you in front of you. So
You talked about me last week with show Sunday morning.
Sunday morning.
Okay, I'll go back and watch it. I was not aware that I was being yapped about.
Yeah, I went. So KG asked me, had a question to me last week. I can't remember where it was, but I basically went through the whole network. Just
Oh, okay. Yeah,
the network. Yeah, because it's not me. I mean, I'm just one piece of this, one spoke in this wheel, and what we do as a network together can't be touched, man. Can't be touched. So thank you, KG. You want me to take us to commercial? You want to take us to commercial?
I'll take us to commercial.
Nah, I don't trust you. Aaron, we'll catch up with you later. I'm gonna take us to commercial, and we'll be back after this quick commercial break. Did you just stop what I was doing? Ladies and gentlemen, the video you just watched is nothing but net. Our show that airs at 7:30 on Wednesdays on the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. You can watch it via YouTube, or you can watch it via Facebook Live. Or if you want to and you like the audio version of this, you can catch it the next day in our audio package. Just like you can catch today's episode tomorrow in the audio form on all of the podcast networks that you seek out podcast on. The only one we're not on is Odyssey, but we're everywhere else. With that being said, I'm gonna turn this over to my host, KG. KG, you can take us wherever we want to go because we got 50 minutes out of what I thought was gonna be a 10, 15-minute segment. So
Hey, I love it. When things come together, I love it. We're gonna catch up on a couple of comments real quick.
go ahead, do that.
Perry, we're talking about the Yankees have won true, relevant, always, and always relevant. Tim says, was the best team that money could buy, and so was the Lakers player.
You know what?
Boone says CKG flexing prehistoric accomplishment. It's not prehistoric, man. History is history. You got to have respect for all of it. Perry said, sounds like Cleveland talk. He said, we know. Tim said, you mean Cal Ripken? Enough said, no. I tell this story all the time. My godmother was a huge Baltimore Orioles fan, and she always said I turned out to be a great young man because I was 21 when she passed. So she said I turned out to be a great young man, and she was proud of me. She said the only thing that she ever regretted was me becoming a Yankee fan. And I told her Derek Sanderson Jeter, and she came back with Cal Ripken. I said once Cal moved over to third, Derek Jeter became the greatest shortstop of all time. There it is. And Perry said the greatest shortstop played third base for the Yanks. I see the argument there. That was always the argument. Jeter was great at fucking up the Marlins. He's a biracial angel. The other guy.
I love that movie, Doug. We might have to get in that bit today. Hey, Omaha, we on. Let's go live with it. Let's go. You know what I'm talking about.
Yankees fans are crying now because they're no longer the team that pays for the most free agents and re-signing them after the season ends. Got my violin player. And he said flowers for Shishi.
Now she can just go away. I don't remember what that one was, but all right, let's go.
But we were talking about reactions, so
let's get to the reaction.
If you didn't know, now you know.
Omaha. We going Omaha. We going to the we going, if you will, see vous play. We gonna go to the French Open because yesterday I watched the match between Matteo Berrettini and Francisco Camasana. Probably one of the best tennis matches I've watched in a long time, but it always manages to happen at the French. 5 sets. These guys go back and forth the whole time, and in the 5th set, they actually go to, in their version of overtime, they go to a tiebreaker, and then the tiebreaker ends 15-13, and like, as a tennis fan, I was a little annoyed because when I saw these guys set up to take the serve as the on the other end, I saw these guys standing by the ball boys. So I don't know if serves are just that much stronger nowadays that you guys stand by the ball boys to return it, or if he was just trying to get out of using his backhand. Because I think Kamasana, his backhand was weak. So I think he was trying to keep himself out of having to do a return backhand. So he tried to circle himself around to get to his forehand to the best of his ability. And I just think as the match went on, back and forth, it was just continuous. It was, you get a play here, you get a play there. The judge was great because she came out and she made calls and accurate calls and good calls throughout the course of play. There were some other matches. I think Coco Gauff got upset yesterday. Tiafo won his match. But just in general, me as a tennis fan, the one good thing for this tournament is there's a person, I guess he's sick or he's hurt or whatever, but I didn't have to go on my rant about Gail Monfils being one of the best talents in tennis and just being unable to win any major, which is absurd for his talent level. Um, Sorry, KG, you get this rant every year. I know it's happening. You know it's happening whether it's the French or Wimbledon. You probably get it in Wimbledon too. But I've never seen a more talented tennis player than Gael Monfils. But I've never seen a person more scared to be successful or having the inability to be successful with the level of talent he has than Gael Monfils. And I'll leave it at that level.
I've never heard scared to be talented before.
Doug, I think he is, man. I mean, the guy can do anything on the court. I've never seen a player, and Tim, you can correct me if I'm wrong. The athletic gifts that he has shouldn't be wasted in quarterfinals, like losing in quarterfinals. His talent level should be I'm losing to Nadal in the French Open, or I'm losing to Nadal at not I'm sorry, Federer. I'm losing to Federer at Wimbledon. I'm losing to Sampras or somebody like that. Like he should be losing to greats in the finals, not losing to substitutes in the quarters, or not even getting to the quarters. He's not your like when I watch tennis, I had this with Djokovic, and Tim can tell you, I I got tired of watching Djokovic go up 2 sets and lose in 5 in the semis to people. And this was early on in his career. And I said, you know what? He just don't have it. And I swear to you, KG, the day I said he don't have it, or the tournament, I think it was whenever he won his first major, was the day, it was literally the day before I said I can't rock with him no more. And after I said it, he got on fire and he lit up, and now he's I think he's got 23 major wins. And if he went, well, he lost in the first round this year at French Open. But if he can win Wimbledon or the US Open, um he'll have the lead for the most majors won by a male tennis player. Hey, Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. We give you a little bit of everything. Yes, you just got tennis broke down to you, baby.
I love it. Cause look, I told you when we were talking about it, and I sent you the message last night. I was like, "You want to do it?" And matter of fact, before that, I think I said something to you on Facebook. I said, "Are you going to talk about that on the Sunday Rise?" You said maybe, and then when you said last night, I said the floor is yours. This is where I learn it, and I'm good with that. So,
I don't even know where we are on the rundown because we've gone so many places.
We rolling around. We still got couple of things to hit. For those that didn't know,
okay,
the Carolina Hurricanes won 6-1, won the series 4-1. That's how they got to the Stanley Cup Finals. This right here, you talk about reactions. During the WrestleManiacs last night, it was during the OKC San Antonio game. Now I know nothing but net is going to break this down. I just want to get this off my chest. I don't need to break the game down. All I needed to see was the final score. And that final score last night was the Spurs 111, the Thunder 103. I have been harping all season about how dirty and foul Oklahoma plays. Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, is it? Dang, the flopping, the sliding across the floor, all of that is done. We don't have to see that in the finals. This is actually going to be a finals matchup that is going to do numbers. It's a rematch of the 1999 NBA Finals. It's a rematch of the 2026 NBA Cup Finals. This right here, I am
Hey,
looking forward to this.
first and foremost, you got to give, no matter how we feel about Adam Silver, the NBA Cup this year actually provided dividends.
Yes,
It gave you something because it gave
yes,
you a preview of what the NBA Finals is going to be. So, from his standpoint or on that standpoint, you got to give him, even though we as older gentlemen taking in content of the NBA, we don't see that or we don't appreciate it. But this year, actually, no, it's not even just this year because last year Indiana was in the finals and Indiana made the NBA Finals, if memory serves me correctly. So the uh, NBA Cup has kind of produced or given us a preview of who could be in the NBA Finals, and whether we like it or not, that's one of the best things they got going is in terms of their preseason. I hate what they've decided to do in terms of the draft order, and you'll get that Wednesday, nothing but that 7:30 with myself and C Perry, um, Josh Walker, and we gotta get Josh a nickname. So far, the only thing I got in the clubhouse is the nephew, but we'll go from there. And then we gotta get JG. I mean, even though he is JG, I don't know if he needs a official nickname from the show or not. But first and foremost, I gotta give. I do this comic strip. Um, it's the Midnight Rider, Jaden Five Rider, and uh, I think about a week or two ago, one of the strips was the baby Jaden Five. Um, yeah, live all in the obvious subplots that it goes into her name. She said Knicks versus Spurs, and I fought it. And then, of course, last night in the comic strip that I dropped, in my stories and on TikTok, I let them have their celebration. Um, Knicks versus Spurs is gonna be interesting. I don't know who I'm gonna pick yet. I'm gonna save my pick because some of my pick. The problem is I hate both teams, but I hate the Spurs more. So I don't know who I want to have the joy. I think I want my boys to have the joy. My boy like DJ Paparet, Carmelo, Kowasku, my buddy Thomas McAfee, um, Perry Jones. I think I want them to have the joy as opposed to my other boy, uh, the roomie, Patrick Unger and his San Antonio Spurs. And KG, I don't think you even understand how much I hate the Spurs because when I was in college in the '90s, my roommate for a year or for a semester, I think it was Pat, and Pat was an Eagles fan, a Spurs fan. I forgot who his baseball team was. So we always butted heads um, when it came to sports. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
I'm gonna tell you this. Now, I I got a love-hate relationship with the Knicks because of the rivalry. It's because of the rivalry, but I enjoy good basketball.
Right.
So one thing about the Knicks all through my fandom of being a Bulls fan is that if the Knicks weren't playing the Bulls, I'm a Patrick Ewing guy, and it's hard to hate Patrick Ewing. It was always hard to hate him and Greg Anthony and uh, John Starks. But if they played the Bulls, I couldn't stand them. But once our dynasty ended and the Knicks were the next team up in the East,
Mm-hmm.
I just always hoped that they could get it right. And it didn't happen in the 2000s. I love the way that they played with Spreewell and Houston and those guys, Chris Childs, Charlie Ward. I love the way they played, but it
Mm-hmm.
just didn't happen. And I said this 2 or 3 seasons ago when we did our season predictions for the NBA. I was like, the Knicks are your team. Last year they fell short because they ran out of gas. Last 2 years they actually fell short because they ran out of gas. This year they got a lot going for them. As far as the Spurs go, I got no beef with the Spurs. I have come to atonement with Wemby. I did that 2 years ago when when he was coming out. I was like, I don't know if his game's gonna translate to the NBA, but he went and he sought out the Obi-Wan Kenobi of big men and Hakeem Olajuwon, and I said the kid's on the right path. But he's such a sponge, and he's seeking out not just him. He's seeking out everybody that's willing to help. And his game has really, really changed. And I enjoy to see it. He punked Chet Holmgren in this Western Conference series. I'm going to say that right here, right now. He punked him. That right there was enough.
So before you go on to your next point, because this is personal for me. If I am, I'm gonna tell you the story. All right, we're gonna go midnight rider story time. 2005 was the year the Pistons beat the Lakers, right? It's either 4 or 5,
4.
right? We don't care about the accuracy of the year, but we just know that the Lakers got beat by the Pistons. The night after that game, the night that game ended, I had a tennis racket, and I never forget. I went outside of my house and I broke the tennis racket on a tree in my backyard. The rest of that summer, between the Lakers losing to the Pistons and there was an article about Deuce Staley benching 400 pounds at 5'8" and 225. That sparked one of the craziest summers of my life in terms of weightlifting and whatever. And I think that summer I got up to about 375 on the bench. And I had a shoulder problem. Like I think I was playing the flag league and I hurt my shoulder in the midst of all this. And that's the only reason I couldn't get that summer to go to 4. And I swear to you, man, it was just one of those things. Like I was just like, yo, if I can get this, but I was motivated because of the loss to the Pistons and whatever. So when I see teams like the Knicks and like they lose early the last 2 years, or they lose in the finals to the Halliburtons, and now they're in the finals. I always think like what went into your summer before that season, because I know what I've done, and I've had like I'm not playing for the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? I don't have an NBA career, and I know what I did just in reaction to losing my team losing to the Pistons that year. So I can only imagine what a team does. And I'm gonna tell you right now, my guy for this series is OG Anunoby. I think OG Anunoby is gonna be the key to this whole series. Not from I think from what he can do defensively. I don't know if the Spurs are used to having somebody equal to what they do on a defensive side. So I think Anunoby's the key, and the cogs are Cat and Brunson. So I'm interested to see how this plays out. Like I said, I think I'm Knicks just because of my hate for the Spurs. Um, I don't know how you fall on this topic.
Well, my preseason pick
Yes,
was the New York Knicks.
yes, It was you and
I stood by that. Like
it
I
was you
stand
and Perry.
by, huh?
It was you and Perry that had the Knicks. It was Coach Glick and Jack that had who did they had the Nuggets. I had OKC. So we're down to only two guys from my preview show having the opportunity to be right.
And looking at it right as of right now, and our ESPN pick'em. I'm not sure who this is, this ESPN fan, but they're number 2. I myself, as Hondo's Rings, is number 1. But I may win this all together because I have a 200-point lead. And the
Nah, you
max
gotta
I
be
can get is
different with that.
1120. The max that they can get is 920.
Okay.
So I'll say this. Give me the Knicks in 7. This is going to be one of those knockdown, drag out series, but not in the way you think. It's going to come down to coaching and who wants it more, of course. But this is going to be one of those ones that people are going to be saying this is probably the best finals that we've seen in the last few years. Because what was that? Golden State versus Boston back in 22. I think that was like the most boringest final
Most
that I
boring.
watched.
I
Yeah,
don't think boring is
boringest. It was a bore. Like I slept through it. I didn't want to watch it. It was terrible.
okay. In
But
the words of Jesse Jackson, now, KG, that's not a word.
I
No, you know
admitted
what you're
that.
doing right now, right? You out here, but I need you to stop doing because I see what you're saying, but you out here chasing waterfalls. You know what I'm saying? Don't go chasing waterfalls, KG.
I need Carl Anthony Towns to be
Mm-hmm.
less, oh my God, and more what's good. Like, I need him to show up to the arena in Tim's, bumping DMX or something, man. Like, I need him to start barking at people or something. Like,
Mm.
because you can't play soft against Wemby. He gonna use you like a rag doll. You already giving up the height.
Right.
You gotta find your inner dog, man. You gotta do something.
Okay. Well,
Couple comments
what
here.
he can't do is he can't be in the passenger seat trying to holler at me because he's
He definitely can't be a scrub. Anthony checking in. And he said, I have San Antonio on 7 because I don't trust the depth of New York in terms of scoring consistency off the bench. Boone said, let's go Knicks. OG is going to be the X factor.
God dang, boom. We shouldn't be on the same page like that.
And he said, not necessarily midnight. This was where I disagree with you. I feel the last 2 seasons with the NBA Cup are outlier. The rest of the time, the team win that are going to be rebuilding.
We've had 3, and two of the 3 are. Come on, let's go with this.
They went with the finals. I'll poke my eyes out with a fork if New York Knicks win a championship because I'm a Heat fan and I hate them more than I hate the Celtics and the Lakers. Your time, you had your time. Outside of Dwayne Wade, my favorite player in basketball in the 2000s was Manu. Perry
Dude,
confirmed.
you should have been here Thursday. I don't remember if he said it Thursday or not, but Thursday we did the role players and we talked
Yeah,
about man.
most
Go ahead.
definitely did. Perry confirmed 2004 Lakers Pistons. Anthony said the problem is I don't think New York has anybody to stop Wemby. They just can hope that they can contain him, but I don't think they're going to shut him down and force anybody else to beat them. See, that's the problem.
See, I think I go ahead, KG. I'm sorry.
No, I think we on the same page. Go ahead.
No, I think the Knicks have enough athletic bodies to throw at him that it's going to at least make him try to figure it out. And I think OG is the key. I think if OG can get out of the first 2 quarters without having 2 fouls and being in foul trouble, I think he changes the dynamic of this series. And I think that gives the Knicks a chance. And in the words of Lord Christmas, all he says is, "So you're saying there's a chance?" And I can't dispute Lloyd Christmas in this point in time to say anything else.
Let me put it to you this way. And Anthony, you don't try to shut down Wemby. You don't try to contain him. You don't do any of that. You let Wemby go off. You shut everything else around him. You shut everything else down. You shut down Harper, Champagne. You shut all those guys down, and you let Wemby put the scoring load on Wemby. When he goes out the game, because he's going to have to go out the game. He's not going to give you 48 minutes. He's going to have to go out the game. When he goes out the game, you put your runners in the game, and you run. I mean, you fast break they tired asses to death. That's how you build a lead. And then when he comes back in the game, you play stall ball. You make him work. You run him off of screens. You down there, you're beating him up in the paint, but you let him score. You pretty much basically you it's the football equivalent of what Bill Belichick did in Super Bowl 25. You concede the run, but you stop the pass. And they don't realize until the fourth quarter that you've been conceding the run this whole time. That's all you do. That's the same way you shut down Kevin Durant and so many other scorers. You let them do their thing, but you know the supporting cast can't carry the load. You shut down the supporting cast.
I totally agree.
Perry said, when, not if, when OG dunks on Wemby.
So I love that he said that, because I think there's a playoff series, the Spurs and the Lakers, and the very one of the first plays of that series, Kobe goes down the lane and dunks on, like, I don't know if it's David Robinson or Tim Duncan. But the second he did that, I knew we was gonna win the series. And maybe that's my fandom and that's my fan memory, but I swear I remember that happening, and I was just like, yeah, we got this. Knicks Sunday rise.
And Perry said, last year was a 7-game snooze fest. It wasn't really good.
I disagree a little bit.
San Antonio in 5.
Of course he would say that.
That's what Tim said. Anthony says, Midnight, can you really trust the flopping not to flop during the series? And you know who I'm talking about, a.k.a. the Flop King.
Yeah, I get on it. Yeah, I love fans and how they love a narrative. He's not the Flop King. And it's funny to me, because we're gonna get in this probably on Wednesday. Nothing but net, 7:30 p.m. Brought to you by the Sideline Junkies. But there's a rule and there's a thing about flopping. So if he was really flopping to the level that they wanted to talk about it, why wouldn't they enforce the rules? Because the NBA has rules for flopping.
Yeah, they do. But I'm going to ask you a question. Why would you enforce a flopping rule on the quote unquote face of your franchise? I'm sorry, face of the league, as well as your 2-time defending, reigning, undisputed MVP?
I mean, because your job is to enforce the rules. Why wouldn't you enforce the rules to enforce the rules? Like, I don't get. This is the part where I have problems with the NBA, the NBA, and especially even with this new tanking policy. It's like, if you just enforce the rules that you put in place, some of these things just don't happen. But it's okay for us to have them down in ink and pen and put on parchment, but it's not okay for us to enforce the actuality that is the rules that we have in place. So how can you help me help you? You know what I'm saying?
And
I
Anthony
mean,
said he talked about the
through the fire and the windows of it all. Help me get through this point. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not out here living in just living on a dream. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. I got these hard facts. I got these situations. So at some point, you gotta make it real. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give me your all. You know what I'm saying?
let me tell you
This just
something.
can't be a fantasy. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm out here being outrageous, KG. But what are we doing here?
I'm gonna tell you something. You can call it what you want to call it. I know what I see, and I know. And Anthony said he talking about Carl Anthony Towns, not SGA. Carl Anthony Towns don't flop as much as SGA and those dudes, and even Caruso. Like the evidence is there. See, what did I tell y'all? There are known unknowns and unknown unknowns. The absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. We got all of this.
Okay.
We got everything there. They are ruining the fabric of the game more than what already is.
Game
You
is
got
already
little kids running around flopping. And we
they've been
talking
flopping for
elementary,
years.
middle
They
school
they
level.
ain't just started flopping.
No, they didn't just start flopping.
No, they didn't. No, they
It's
didn't.
getting way more
Uh,
out of hand.
oh, hold
I'm
on,
gonna
hold on,
tell you.
hold on. You know what? Now I gotta stop you because this is a fallacy. Tim Watkins, bring your ass back to the comments. All right, because I know for a fact I have empirical evidence that flopping in youth leagues didn't start recently. Tim Watkins can tell you he was at Holy Family um gymnasium somewhere in the this probably would have been 86 or 87. There's this kid Jabari Uzi or Ozi, I can't remember how you pronounce his last name. Wore number 34 for St. Mary's um St. Mary's church. I can't remember what the rest of the name of because it was a long ass name. I was wearing at that time, that was my second season, so I was probably wearing number 10. And weeks before, we were at Fort Stanton, and I was playing against him, and I took a charge. And when I took the charge was there was no charge involved. It was a flop. And when this kid bumped into me, I felt like a house of bricks. I fell out, and I was like, "All right, I gotta draw I'm drawing the charge because I gotta get fouls on this kid. I gotta do something because I can't stop this kid." And in that moment, I never forget. He always talks about this. He's like, "Yo, player," because he doesn't call me by my name. He says, "You flop." I was like, "Yeah, I did," but that's just what I knew how to do. And like flopping is not new. Flopping is just a thing. The only reason the flopping is becoming the topic is because we live in this internet world where everything becomes a topic. Guys flop and guys have always flopped. This isn't the mecca of something new. We aren't putting ourselves on the precipice of a new platform. Flopping is and flopping has. Because when I flopped, people always said Danny Ainge was the king of flopping. So like we gotta step away from that narrative of flopping being something new. That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm not
And,
saying it's
and
new.
if he's in the comments, check it because I know he knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay, I'm not saying it's nothing new. I mean, we used to get on Vlade Divac about doing that when he was in Sacramento, about the flopping on the baseline. We used to get on all of that. I'm not saying it's new. I'm saying it's getting out of hand to the point that we're watching every kid. Like it's a video. Kid gets a steal, and he's dribbling down court. And as he's dribbling down court, the defender's like this, hands up, running beside him. He's sitting there, and then he throws the ball up and banks it in. And one! Nobody touched you. We're at the point now, every time
it's
they
not at a
shoot.
point. We just got more video.
Okay, that's true. We got more video evidence.
Yeah,
But these kids are starting to act like that Andy just walked in the room and this is Toy Story.
No, kids have always acted this way. That's the part that's
No.
Yeah, dog.
Kids started acting this way
No,
about 2005, 2006. Let's say for the last 20 years, because they ain't always acting like that.
I told you I did this in the 90s.
No,
I told you I did this in the 90s.
I'm a kid that balled in the 90s, and we never hit the deck. And if you did hit the deck, somebody put you there.
I hit the deck in what 1987. Come on, dog. It's not like y'all trying to make this a new thing. It's not a new thing.
It's not a new thing. I'm not saying it's a new thing. I'm saying it's getting out of hand.
That's different.
SGA is falling on the floor every time he shoots. That boy wind up on the floor. Now,
I swear I hope Tim is in the comments.
Now, hold on. Now, I'm a player that if I saw a loose ball and you were running for it, I would slide across the floor, get it, save it, and I'm starting to break. That's the only time you would see me on the floor. If I shoot, I'm not going to flail and, oh my God, I'm not going to drive by you and foul. You know, I might lay it up and look and say, oh, that's a foul.
But I'm just saying right now. But I'm gonna draw a charge. Hey, it might not make sense or whatever. Trust me, I was in an adult league and like I flailed like it was nobody's business, and the dude was like, "Yo, dog, you 245, and he 180. No way he made you fall like that." I was like, "Good point." And we just went down the court. I got it. I get it. I understand what you're talking about. But the problem is, and here's what Perry said, and I love what Perry's saying here. The problem for me is if you have a flopping rule, you got to enforce the flopping rule. And the NBA, in all of its great wisdom, has a rule, but if you don't enforce it, don't mean shit. You know,
Agreed.
Just like this bullshit NBA draft lottery thing that they got going on. It's like if you don't enforce the rules, it don't mean shit. It don't make sense. And we'll talk about that Wednesday, Nothing But Net, 7:30 p.m. here on the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. But it's just you gotta make it make sense. Go ahead, KG.
Perry also said, when has there been a complaint about Cat flopping? He doesn't get calls anyway. Who had the most offensive fouls this year? Cat. Were they flop for flopping? No. And Anthony said the flopping started when LeBron was playing AAU basketball, when you guys are playing Rocket League, and Travel League basketball was all about physical defense. No, the flopping started with you saw Vlade flopping a lot in the early 2000s. That was the only person doing that.
Danny Ainge started flopping.
Tim said, y'all stop that shit. Embiid will run your ass over on defense. How many times have you seen Embiid get hit by a guard and fall like he was shot like Ben at Fort Stanton?
So the story behind this, dog, this is funny. I'm glad he posted that because I knew he was gonna post that. So there was one time we played, me and Tim were playing 1-on-1, and like he was trying to back me down to the post, and I fell. And you would have thought somebody shot me with a revolver from 34 feet away. Like you thought an assassin hit me, and he was I felt so bad. He was like, "Dog, it's your ball." Like yeah, it's yours. Don't worry about
That's gotta be bad. You just like, dog, it's your ball. Just take it. Just take
it.
it.
Just take it. Just like it's him and my boy Kel are the two people that I caught with like the best. Like yeah, I took a charge and they were like, "Oh God."
Anthony says, KG and Midnight, I believe, flopping got worse when LeBron started playing AAU basketball. When you guys were playing rec league and travel league, no, yeah, it was all about physical defense. But LeBron didn't flop early in the early days. He did not
No, but
flop.
he had, but there's a thing. He and Shaq both have said, oh God, here we go. Go ahead, KG, just read it.
I sat and watched Midnight Rider get a charge on a kid that he outweighed by 100 pounds.
That's the game, man. Holy Family that he's talking about. Yo, when I went to the bench and I came back on the court after took that charge, he just looked at me and I was like, all right, I know. Yeah. Go ahead, KG.
Oh my goodness! Like I, we can talk about this forever, but you got San Antonio versus
Yeah.
OKC. I'm sorry, San Antonio versus the Knicks in the NBA Finals. Um, I say the Knicks in 7. What you calling the Midnight Rider?
Well, you know me, the purveyor of content. I'll let you know on Wednesday with nothing but net how I actually feel. So, but you might see a little young lady, um, Jaden 5, give her pick before anybody else does, because that might be the next comic strip.
Ooh, Lord, that's a segment of its own right there.
Nah, yo, me and yeah, man.
Call it Tales from the Court. Midnight Rider, what you
Hey,
got
man,
on the Miles report?
I sold it. That's all I'm saying. Oh dang! Miles reports. God, I didn't
Yeah,
even think
we
we
got
could come.
the Miles report. What you got on the Miles report? You
Hold on.
know?
I gotta go back and look at because I think she had a good night last night. While we doing this, so Tim is like my best friend, and um, you know, he's also my niece's my niece's dad, and my niece is my niece, and I swear to God, and he'll say this and this that he gets so irritated by her because she is so much like me, and it's a good thing and it's a bad thing, all in the same point. I'm gonna try to find the Olivia Miles stats from the night before real quick. Give me a second, but yeah. Also, what you gotta look at if you guys aren't paying attention, but the college women's World Series, um, on the softball side, there's some storylines because Jason Williams' daughter, I guess, transferred out of Florida and went somewhere else, and she got hit by like 5 pitches, um, the other day, and that's crazy in its own right. Um, so like her next at bat, she actually got hit again. So in terms of college baseball and the way this goes and the way it works, um, yeah, she's taking on shrapnel that she shouldn't take on. And let's get to the Miles report. I'm sorry. Um, so they didn't play last night. They played on Friday night. And on Friday night, my girl, Olivia Miles, had 17 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. The score was the Lynx beat the Sky 79-58. The Sparks beat the Mystics 92-87. The Liberty beat the Mercury 75-68. And the Dream beat the Fire 66. I'm sorry, 86-66. And then yesterday, the scores went the Tempo beat the Storm 93-72. The Sun beat the Sparks 84-81. And the Fire beat the Fever 100-84. And in the Sparks game, I'm sorry, in the Fever game, Caitlin Clark was only had 6 points. She was 1 for 7 from the field, 0 for 2 from three. She had 2 rebounds, 6 assists. So that is the point that everybody is kind of emphasizing right now when it comes to their schedule and what's going on.
All right. Well, question for you: are you seeing a difference in the league? Like, what highlights I'm seeing? I'm saying that these youngins that's coming in, these rookies and first year players are really stepping up, and they're challenging for the mantle. Highlight plays after highlight plays. It's like the crop of WNBA players is just like, ooh.
I think the league is getting better, and I think the person that I mean, and unfortunately, um, I don't know what her last name is, but I think it's Haley Van. Um, gosh, what's her last name?
Was that Vandersloot?
Yeah, whatever Haley's last name is, she's been cut, and then she's got cut again by another team. I think the league is getting to a point where if you're not athletic, you can't be a one or you can't be a two. Like you gotta be able to play your positions. And I think that's what's starting to happen. We're starting to weed out the people that, they could get by in college because, athletically you weren't better, but schematically you were better. And I think now they're facing the harsh reality that no matter what the scheme is, you can't be better than everybody else. And that's where we are with her. And I think we're going to get some of those other realities with everybody else. And that's going to be the problem with this league. It's not even going to be a problem. It's just going to be a reality that these young ladies are going to have to face. So she's going to have to go to Italy. She's going to have to go to these other countries and play because she doesn't have a reality in the U.S. because these guards and these players are too athletic. Shout out to my girl, Trinity Carter, and that's at Las Vegas that sat out a year. Her only problem is she's just a nutcase, and we can get her back to what she's doing. Yeah,
She just a nutcase.
yeah, that's her only problem.
Let's do it in there.
Let's go to what we eating.
All right, let's hit it, man. What you eating today, Midnight Ride? What you eating?
I don't even know. I think I'm gonna go ahead and throw these chicken tenders that I got tenderloins.
Tenderloins.
Loins so Tender.
Ah.
I think. My bad. I'm sorry. I broke. I'm bad. But, no, I think I'm gonna do chicken tenderloins. And either create like a taco situation or a chicken and rice situation. But that's what I'm going with today. What you got?
Uh, think we sticking with chicken. I think we're gonna do chicken burgers, smothered chicken burgers.
Okay.
So some white rice, broccoli and corn.
So are you putting the white rice on the burger or is it
No, no,
just
no,
like
no. It goes because how she does it. My wife does this thing. She did it with turkey burgers, and she'll make a turkey burger. She'll fry, she hand make it turkey burger.
Mhm.
Put it, fry it, make gravy, and then take the gravy and pour it over the turkey burger.
Ah.
So it's a turkey burger per se, but it's not a turkey
So,
burger in the
so,
traditional
so here's
sense.
the question. Here's the question. This is the most important question. Is she toasting the bun or cooking the bun? Because with
Nope, no
turkey
bun,
burgers and sauce,
no
you
bun.
you gotta give the bun because if the bun is the bun itself, it's gonna fold in the mix. But if you put the bun in the oven and like give it some crisp, it can hold the sauce because it sounds like the sauce and the burger itself are part of the accoutrement, as they say.
Well, no bun. Uh, what you do with the turkey burger is you take that thing, you put it on top of a bed of rice, and then you put that gravy over top of it. That's all you need. That's all you need.
I don't know what we're doing here. I don't know what's happening. You got
It's
the
one of them
scavengers.
things.
You got the scavengers. You
Tim
don't be
said
like
ribs and fried fish. Ooh, what kind of fish?
knowing him is a croaker,
Mm.
and he's got it in his backyard. Yeah. So yeah, but first and foremost, we get out of here. Um, bleep you, Tim. Um, you know what that means. And then go ahead, KG.
Well, I guess that'll take us to wrap that shit up. But we got a week worth of shows loaded up for you. You got Drive Time at 5 tomorrow. Pretenders or Contenders at 7. Then on Tuesday at 6:30, you got Unapologetic. 7:45, you got nothing. I'm sorry, you got Tuesday Night Flight. Wednesday at 7:30, you got Nothing But Net. Thursday at 7:15, you got the Thursday Night Throwdown, which brings you back to Saturday, where you have the Saturday Night WrestleManiacs.
I hate when you say the like the like like we not chopped liver, dog. That's
But
all I'm saying.
no,
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
no,
Go ahead.
no, no,
Finish off the
not chopped liver at all. But I mean, what I'm saying is, when I say the WrestleManiacs, that means often imitated but never duplicated.
Okay.
You got other shows that talk wrestling. They're great, but there's only one WrestleMania.
Okay. So that's for the wrestling world.
That's more of
Okay.
the wrestling aspect. That doesn't have. That's the wrestling aspect. We just we are the wrestling podcast for the people.
Okay.
That's we are. Because we had a discussion last night on air, and if you go back and watch that almost 2-hour masterpiece, you'll know WWE is gonna wind up taking some of our ideas within the next, I said, 2 weeks to 2 months, maybe 2 weeks to a month. You're gonna see it on TV. A championship will be resurrected, whether it be cruiserweight, the television title, what have you. A title will be resurrected, and it will be put in Danhausen's hands. Book it.
All right. So for myself and the guy that is the big IKG, we have brought you from point A to point B, and we can do it the only way we can do it. So let's get out of here, KG, because we did overtime.
Yeah, we did do overtime. But we out of here.
Peace.